today and get 90 channels plus free equipment and free installation. Smart business owners like you all across the country are consolidating and saving money on their cable TV, internet, and phone service.
Yeah, do you have the show open though?
No, we need you to run the open.
Right now.
Okay.
Sweet, thanks.
Save money and call now.
800-470-7113. 800-470-7113. 800-470-7113. That's 800-470-7113.
Couldn't find it in time, so I'm just going to roll with this.
And welcome, everyone, to Picks and Parlays here on the Sports Byline Network. I am your host, Chelsa Messinger. And as always, we urge you to call in, talk to us in the studio, 800-878-PLAY. And as always, we'd like to welcome our men and women in uniform listening on the American Forces Network. Today, we've got a great show for you. We've got some Women's World Cup. As we know, we're always rooting for the U.S., but we've got some other games to cover as well. It's all exciting, and we've got Nick Gieber of Fifth Street Sports Soccer on SiriusXM to delve into the details on that topic, and as well as we're going to some Major League Baseball. A lot of games to get to. We've got Mitch Wilson, Picks and Parlays, and it is never too early to start talking about some NFL football. We've got Tony Tellez, picksandparlays.net, here to talk about that with us. I'm really excited about football. I know it just seems like the summer is just going so long and we can't get to football. I'd almost watch football players play football with a basketball right now. So desperate for some football. Is that desperate? Oh, well. All right. As always, you can follow us on Twitter, Picks and Parlays, or Picks Parlays, and Facebook.com/Picks Parlays, YouTube.com Picks and Parlays, and www.picksandparlays.net if you want to make some money. If you don't, you can turn it off now. But if you want to make some money for the rest of the summer, get you a nice little vacay, make your money work for you. Picks and Parlays, bet, win, repeat. We put the odds in your favor. And we've got a lot to talk about today. We've got will the U.S. women win the World Cup? They are favorites, but France is a pretty strong favorite as well, and they play them in the quarterfinal. Only 8 teams remain, and only the U.S. is the only team that is not a European team. So we've got some North American allegiance there, and we've also got plenty of baseball to talk about. That's always my favorite. So stay with us, and we've got plenty to talk about, plenty of money to win for you guys. We've got all that coming up after the break here on Picks and Parlays.
What's in store this week at Staples?
Savings, boxed up and ready to move.
If you're on the move, make sure your first stop is Staples.
Because right now, when you spend $50 or more on moving supplies at Staples, you save $10.
Staples has everything to get you from here to there, like boxes, bubble roll, and packing tape.
So before you go anywhere, stop at Staples for big savings on moving supplies. Staples,
where there's a whole lot in store. And $629.19 in store only. Exclusions apply. See associate for details.
At Indeed, we understand that when it comes to hiring, it's important to have a large talent pool to choose from. But sometimes too many good options can be overwhelming. That's why Indeed doesn't just give you access to a large pool of job seekers. We also offer screener tools that let you instantly narrow down your search. Hone in on hiring with Indeed. Experience Indeed for yourself today and get a free sponsored job upgrade on your first posting at Indeed.com/promo. Terms and conditions apply.
Do you use the blue pill to charge your sex life? Have you been thinking about trying the blue pill? What if we can promise you the same results for less than $3 a pill? If you're paying $20 a pill for the other pills, you're getting taken to the cleaners. Our pill delivers the exact same results for less than $3. We'll do the math for you. You'll save more than $16 a pill for the same results. Want more? We'll give you 40 blue pills or 40 yellow pills for $99 and add 4 more pills free. You save more than $500. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to know what to do next. You need to call and get your 44 pills for just $99. Stop overpaying for the other blue pills. Call us and start saving a ton of money for the exact same results. Ordering is fast and easy with your pills delivered to your door in a non-marked package. 800-223-0992. 800-223-0992. 800-223-0992. That's 800-223-0992. Want to fly somewhere? Looking for cheap flights or cheap tickets? Then call. That's right. Call the low-cost airline travel hotline now for prices so low we can't publish them anywhere. Low-cost airlines has all kinds of cheap travel deals. Fly domestically and save up to 75%. You can even fly internationally and save even more. Yes, fly anywhere in the world and save a lot of money on your plane tickets. We'll even save you money with cheap travel deals on hotels, rental cars, even complete travel packages. So don't book your tickets until you call us first for the absolute cheapest prices on U.S. and international airline tickets and hotels. Call right now for prices so low they can't be published. Travel experts are here 24/7 to help. 800-754-4531. 800-754-4531. 800-754-4531. That's 800-754-4531.
All right, welcome back to the Picks and Parlays broadcast here on the Sports Byline broadcast network. I'm Chelsa Messinger, your host. Let's get right into it. Today we are talking Women's World Cup. It's down to 8 teams. It's the quarterfinals. 7 of the 8 teams left are from Europe. The U.S. is the one remaining team that's not from Europe. But we've got Nick Gieber of Fifth Street Sports Soccer here on the broadcast with us today to provide some expert analysis and betting picks. All right, Nick, what you got for us?
Well, Chelsea, you're absolutely right. You know, it is interesting that all the teams, with the exception of the United States, are European. And in many respects, this is indicative of the growth of the women's game outside of the U.S. This is very much a U.S. baby. Women's professional football was sort of born out of Title IX. The rest of the world, however, embracing it. And a lot of the big clubs in Europe now, the big, very well-oiled, very well-funded big club machines in Europe are now getting firmly behind it. And we're seeing that in some of the results this year. China, for example, Japan, teams that have formerly been, powerhouses in the world game, or at least serious competitors, Japan, of course, getting to the finals, have fallen by the wayside. Brazil not getting by the round of 16, even with Marta. So some interesting shifts, and of course, you might say that many of the nations all through to the quarterfinals are all nations that are, shall we say, more embracive, if that's a word, certainly the opposite of abrasive, I would imagine, of women's sport and support of the women's game. But having said that, Chelsea, we've got some really mouth-watering matchups ahead of us.
Mouth-watering?
Yes, in
like
the quarterfinals. Yes.
Juicy.
Some real juicy stuff, right. Shall we start with Norway-England? This is
yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, this is a big match. Norway, they lost to France. They had a penalty win in the round of 16 against Australia. That was a very tight match, the Australia-Norway match. England, on the other hand, well, they're unbeaten. They've only conceded one goal over the whole tournament. They are definite favourites at -110 on this game. Norway, the long shot at +250. The draw for regulation is +240. I don't like that. I think England will score. I think England are going to win this game and advance to a semi-final matchup against either the United States or France.
Yeah, England has looked, from what I've seen, it seems like England has played the best so far in the tournament and has been more convincing. as opposed to Norway. I mean, obviously they wouldn't be here if they weren't good. But like you said, they had to win in dramatic fashion in their last game. England, not so much with a 3-0 win over Cameroon. What are your thoughts? Who's looking better so far?
Well, that Cameroon game was nasty. I mean, it involved the Cameroonian women at some point threatening to walk off the pitch as a result of what they thought was some unfair video assistant referee calls.
I know the officiating was very controversial.
Well, it wasn't really controversial. They got it right. The Cameroonians just didn't like the result. There was spitting, there was punching, there was kicking. They were very nasty. FIFA are looking at their behavior.
I kind of wish they were still in the tournament now.
Yeah, but that was Cameroon. But
sounds like WWE.
Yeah, a little bit like WWE, and that has certainly been a feature of this tournament. It's been very physical. A lot of great play, and those people who have been naysayers about the women's game, if I might add, that has been me over a couple of decades. I have certainly changed my opinion over the last 3 or 4 years as the athleticism and the pace and the quality of the game has picked up. These ladies are terrific athletes, some of the best female athletes in the world you're going to see on display here. But look, let's talk about Norway for a minute. They are without their best player, Ada Hegerberg, who has decided she will not play in the World Cup over a perceived lack of equal support for women's football by the Norwegian Football Association. That has certainly helped Norway. But as we said, at this point, I'm a firm believer England are going to win, currently -110. Should we move on to the next one?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. This is France, America, the United States. The women are the title holders. This is a big, big match, and they are coming up against probably the second best team in the tournament. France, though, they're getting better with each game. And, you know, we talk, Chelsa, about momentum, right? Mm-hmm. How important momentum is in all sport. Well, France are gaining momentum. They had a huge 2-1 victory over Brazil, which saw them through. The United States, on the other hand, had a rather lackluster win against Spain. And if there's one question mark I have over this match, it's, you know, the France playing at home in front of a home crowd, got the big Mo behind them, and the U.S., you know, struggling a little bit. There's certainly a lot of issues going on outside of the tournament, whether it's, you know, Megan Rapinoe and a bunch of other players refusing to go to the White House if they win or lose, whether it's the lawsuits they have against U.S. soccer for equal pay. There's a lot of sort of noise in the environment. They've been able to cut through it beautifully up till now. But quite honestly, they were lucky against Spain. It was 2 very soft but correct penalty calls for the U.S. They scored no goals in open play. You know, here are the odds. French women are +235. The U.S. +130, not a huge amount between them.
Right.
And I'm going to go out on a limb here. For my bracket, I actually picked the United States to go all the way through and win it.
I was going to say there's a lot of people that are saying this matchup is one of the most crucial ones, because I think a lot of people have France to win and a lot of people to win the whole thing, and then a lot of people have the U.S. to win the whole thing. So I think this will be a key matchup going forward.
Well, whoever plays this match will likely face England. I have had the United States going through. I'm not changing my opinion. It will be a tough match, and we're going to see what these ladies are made of. And trust me, I know them. They've been watching them. They're made of steel. This will be a great match to watch. The other one is Italy, Holland. Italy +260. The Dutch +118. That's the other quarterfinal on the other side. Italy play some great football. They lost to Brazil in the group stages. They beat China in the round of 16. But it's the way the Dutch team are playing. They had a 2-1 victory over Japan. I love the way these Dutch women play football. They pass the ball. They play very traditional Dutch total football style. You know, so many of these women's teams are now being coached by coaches of both men's professional teams and the men's national team, and there's a lot of cross-pollination going on. The whole game is elevating. You know, rising tide lifts all boats. Mm-hmm. It's fantastic. The Dutch ladies play some fabulous football, as I might add. The Italian women do as well, both very much showing the character of their national team's football over the last few decades. However, having said that, the Dutch are favorites at +118, Italy at +260. I do like the Dutch to go through on this one. I believe they very likely could go all the way to the final. On the other side, the final quarterfinal we have is Germany against Sweden. Germany has yet to concede a goal in the entire tournament. They look really, really good. They are a great and solid football team. Sweden, they lost to the U.S. in the group stages. They beat Canada 1-0. Interesting, though, if you're looking for some quality value in this tournament, Germany at minus 133, which isn't a bad bet to lay anyway. Okay, but the Swedish women are plus 420, Chelsa. Plus 420.
So you could make some good money.
You could make some good money. It is possible that Sweden could upset Germany here. Yeah. That is not, if you're going to wager a little bit, going to have a little gamble, a little punt.
Yeah, and there's already been some upsets in the Women's World Cup.
Oh, for sure there have been some upsets, absolutely. But if you're going to have a little punt, this might be a nice one
to do
it. Yeah, absolutely, Chelsa. I like it. We start with the quarterfinals start, I think, on Thursday,
tomorrow,
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They go all the way through. You're not going to want to miss this. This is, by the way, the viewership numbers for the Women's World Cup have been off the charts.
Yeah, good. They deserve the spotlight.
They have exceeded all expectations, and we will see as this tournament continues.
And I've been dying to ask you, do you think the U.S. women have been celebrating too much? What did you think about them scoring all those goals against Thailand, and did you think that it was excessive? Because it seems like it's very split between analysts.
No, because the group stage of the World Cup is all about goal differential. That is the tie-breaking decider. That was, in fact, the case, although the U.S. beat Sweden. But if that had been a draw, goal differential would have been the tiebreaker. Yeah. Sweden was only able to put 5 past Thailand.
Right.
So, no. As for celebrating, it might have been a little nicer if they'd stopped celebrating so eagerly at 6 goals. But these are professional athletes at the top of their game, the biggest tournament. You can't judge them on that, Chelsa.
Right, yeah. I mean, I think they deserve the spotlight. They've earned it. This is the one time that the U.S. women really get the eyes of the world, and I think they deserve it. We'll be back after this. We've got more to talk to. We've got Major League Baseball. We've got NFL futures. So stick with us. We will be back right here on Picks and Parlays.
Attention business owners. Are you struggling while waiting for your customers to pay on their net 30, 60, or 90-day invoices? Can't get a business loan? Have no equity? Bad credit? Or maybe no credit at all? Then you need to call AmeriFactors right now. AmeriFactors will give you cash for your invoices and there's nothing to pay back. We simply buy your account receivables, and if those clients don't pay on the invoices, we take the loss. We give you funds based on your account receivables, not your credit, and 98% of all applicants are approved. It's that simple. With AmeriFactors, there's no more waiting for your customers to pay. We give you the funds up front, then we wait for your customers to pay us. Fund your business today. Call AmeriFactors right now.
800-847-1183. 800-847-1183. 800-847-1183. That's 800-847-1183.
Are you an active stock market investor? Well, then you know these 3 key words: buy, sell, hold. Those 3 magic words can make or lose you money in the stock market. What if we can show you a time-tested tool that's been helping stock market investors succeed for over 30 years? It's called VectorVest, an amazing system designed to make smart investing easy. The VectorVest system analyzes, sorts, and ranks over 19,000 stocks every day and tells you when to buy, what to buy, and when to sell any stock to maximize your profits in less than 10 minutes a day. And if you call right now, you can test drive our amazing VectorVest system risk-free for 30 days for just $9.95.
800-584-2519. 800-584-2519. 800-584-2519. That's 800-584-2519.
Money Now 100 is not a lender, broker, or agent of any lender or financial advisor. We do not make loans or credit decisions. You must be 18 years or older and a U.S. resident to qualify. This is not an offer or solicitation to lend. I went to MoneyNow100.com and got the $5,000 I needed deposited in my account the next business day. If you need money for any reason, help is here. Go to MoneyNow100.com and get the money you need. Need to pay off credit card debt? Go to MoneyNow100.com. Need your car repaired? Need home improvement money? Visit MoneyNow100.com. If you need fast cash for any reason, go to moneynow100.com. Good, bad, or no credit at all. Go to moneynow100.com. You could get up to $5,000 as soon as the next business day. Go to moneynow100.com on your phone, tablet, or computer. Type in the address bar moneynow100.com. That's moneynow100.com.
Welcome back. We are back with you here on Picks and Parlays, here on the Sports Byline broadcast. I am your host, Chelsa Messinger. As I mentioned earlier, I'm desperate to talk about a little football. It's been a long summer. Baseball is great, but NFL is just something about it, especially when it comes to gambling. We've got, let's see, Tony Tellis of picksandparlays.net here to chat with us about some NFL futures. We're talking about the AFC today. Obviously, the Patriots are always a fixture. This year, we've also got the Chiefs contending, and those are the two favorites right now. Tony, who you got in the AFC this year?
Hey, Chelsea, pleasure to be with you here today here on Picks and Parlays show. And I'm looking forward to football. We're 5 weeks and 1 day away from the NFL Hall of Fame game on August 1st. So, yes, and I'm counting. And I know you talked about the favorites here in New England at plus 400. Of course, no Gronkowski. I do like their running back situation. Tom Brady. I'm not gonna predict the downfall of Tom Brady. I'm always wrong. You know.
Oh, it's hard to pick against the Patriots because they always make you look stupid. But
yeah, they do. And one thing about the Patriots, though, we noticed last year they were not the same team on the road. They had road struggles. They were solid at home. They had a very good home record. But once they lose games at home, then you got to worry about them a little bit. But obviously, they're up there at favorites. They're not much value at plus 400 odds to make it to the Super Bowl. Look at the Kansas City Chiefs having to overcome that loss they had in that tough playoff game to New England at home. Of course, KC, a good quarterback. Of course, they lost their star running back who was involved in some off the field activities. That wasn't good news. Tyreek Hill, he's up in the air. The defense did not look good at the end of the season. Remember that game against the Rams? The Rams put up over 50 on them. And, of course, a team that's third favorite are the Cleveland Browns. And I have question marks about this Browns team defensively. Everybody told me last year the Browns defense was supposed to be good. Well, they just didn't perform that way on the field. Of course, Baker Mayfield's good. He's got some weapons around him. Of course, the Chargers also tied for third in the betting at plus 700 odds with Philip Rivers and company. Not much of a home field advantage. I'm out here in SoCal. I know all about their home field. They'll have it once they move into the new stadium. Of course, people in LA, they love to go out to the new stadium, and they'll support the Chargers then. And, of course, the Colts at plus 800. I was a team I was looking at, Chelsea, but I just don't think plus 800 odds was enough for me to back them.
I was going to say I like the Colts. I think the AFC stuff, especially with the Chiefs looming in the playoffs, but the Colts are very young. I think they have one of the youngest averages. I think they average 25 years. They've got a lot of cap space for free agency, and they looked pretty impressive last year in the playoffs. I know they kind of skunked my Titans there, which was disappointing. I went to that game, and it was very disappointing. But Andrew Luck seems to be getting the hang of things there. He seems to be back to his old self. So, like you said, maybe it's not the value pick that we'd like, but what are the value picks for you?
Value picks I have here. The only thing I will say about the Colts is I do like the play of their defense. It did improve. But the value pick I have to pick here, no doubt, would be the Pittsburgh Steelers at plus 1,200 odds. You know, offensively, the team produced 403 yards a game. They were really good on third down, 44%. We know Big Ben, 16-year veteran, solid in the pocket, fairly healthy last year. He started all 16 games. He threw for a career-high 5,100 yards, 34 touchdown passes. That was also career-high. We know Antonio Brown is now a Raider. We know that Le'Veon Bell situation. I mean, let me tell you something. The Divas are gone. I think it helps the team. You know, Juju Smith-Schuster will be the main target. We may see the ball spread out a little bit. You know, the Steelers have done a great job in the draft of drafting players. And I do believe with Brown there, Big Ben on the road, going for that big play too much, you know, on the road. I'm sure you've covered NFL teams before.
Yeah.
You know what it's like in the road stadiums. There's a lot of crowd noise. There's not as much protection. The receivers off a little step slowly. You want a quick release. So guess what? When you're trying to break in some receivers, you're gonna give more looks and more targets to more of your receivers, more intermediate throws. That's going to help them on the road because the Steelers are always underperforming on the road.
Yeah. Do you think that they have them at do you think it's a value pick because of the turmoil they've had in the locker room? Do you think that's why that number is where it is? Or do you think, I guess they're below the Browns and they're in that division. So I guess people are thinking that the Browns are going to win that division. But
they're looking at Antonio Brown leaving as a big key, but I believe that with Juju Schuster there, and of course the Steelers draft, they got James Conner, the running back, who really was a nobody.
He's great.
He's great. I'm gonna tell you someone who else they drafted. I have someone that you want to keep an eye on, and that's that Snell kid from Kentucky. In the SEC, it's a tough conference, and he was a workhorse. He averaged 5 yards per carry in every year of his college football career. And he was the MVP in the Citrus Bowl, helped lead Kentucky to the win. It was a 4th-round pick. The Steelers always have a knack for those middle-round picks to become superstars. I think this Benny Snell is someone to look out.
I believe you, because if you're putting up those kind of numbers in the SEC where the competition level is so high, and you're doing enough to stand out in the SEC, especially at Kentucky, I think there's got to be something there.
Yeah, definitely. And of course, we're looking at the defense now. Their 1st-round pick, that really good linebacker out of Michigan, Devin Bush. They got a corner, Justin Lane, out of Michigan State. Hey, Michigan State, solid defensive team. Of course, Pittsburgh. Let's take a look here at some of their numbers here. 6th in the league in yards allowed defensively. And, for them to have success to get in the playoffs, they're going to have to beat their division. They've got Cincinnati, who I think is going to be down this year. Baltimore, a team I'm not really high on. And, of course, the Cleveland Browns, a team everyone has these high expectations. Remember, the Browns were 30th and last in yards allowed, really struggling in pass defense a season ago. And we know Pittsburgh will get better as the season goes through. They do have a tough schedule. I will tell you this, the entire division has a tough schedule because they have to play the NFC West this year.
Huh. Do you think that people are high on the Browns just because I think sometimes when you get the big names like the OBJ, and they already have Jarvis Landry, but do you think that kind of skews the public opinion when they see those big names going there, even though they might not produce in the leaps and bounds that they want them to?
That's exactly right. Everyone's betting on expectations here with these players. We got to make sure they all can play together. There's chemistry. They did show some fight last year, coming back in some games. Really, they did have a struggle to start the season. But, Baker Mayfield is an accurate quarterback. But will he have the same protection on the offensive line? What happened to the defense last year? I could see the Browns in a lot of high-scoring games. This might be a team I may be looking to go over-unders during the season.
Yeah, and the only thing that sticks out to me in the AFC is that everybody's got to go through either the Patriots or the Chiefs, and that's definitely tough because last year the Chiefs were a Dee Ford penalty away from winning that game, in my opinion. And the Patriots, for some reason or another, they always find ways to win. They may not have the best talent, but Tom Brady throws those little slant routes and just eats defenses up. So that's why it's tough to get out of the AFC. But it certainly can be done.
Yeah, it can be done. And in case it'll happen when the Patriots start losing at home. That's when you'll start to see a crack there. And the one thing about the Patriots, they're very good in free agency. You bring in players, really good players from losing cultures, bring them in the Patriot culture. You see attitude changes. You see work ethic changes. You see that all on the field. All their bad habits are gone when they come to New England. So they do a very good job in free agency. And they've done a really good job of getting depth in the backfield. Those running backs, you look at the injured list, there's always a back hurt, but they always have so much depth to overcome.
Right. Yeah, Sony Michel has been a great find for them. I know he was great at Georgia. The University of Georgia, for some reason, always produces great running backs. They seem to have a wealth of talent down there when it comes to the run game. Any other dark horses in the AFC that you see?
Well, I think you're going to like this one. You're going to really like this one. I think Tennessee Titans is a really good value at plus 2,800 odds.
Don't even jinx it. Don't get my hopes up.
They were the 8th ranked defense in the league. They only allowed 333 yards, just under 19 points a game. They'd won 6 of 8 heading to that Week 17 game, which we won't talk about. All right, we won't talk about that game anymore. It's in the past. But remember who started that game? Blaine Gabbert. Blaine Gabbert was the starter.
I was going to say the guy from Missouri. Yeah, it definitely wasn't Mariota. I can tell you that.
It was not Mariota. He was out. Of course, the one thing about Mariota last season, he did complete 69% of his passes. That was his best ever. He only threw 6 picks in his final 13 games. Their second-round pick, A.J. Brown out of Ole Miss, will give Mariota some help. They're very young receiving corps, so they're going to really have to step up there. And of course, Mariota has had his issues with health, so they brought in the Miami Dolphin starting quarterback Ryan Tannehill. So he'll be the backup. So if Mariota can't, if they got to sit him, well, at least you got Tannehill in there who's shown something. At home, I think he was a much better quarterback at home, obviously, there in Miami.
Yeah. I really like them bringing in Tannehill because Mariota's been hurt so much, because it's not the issue that Mariota's good or not. It's the fact that he can't stay healthy. And the Titans have really spent money on that O-line. Taylor Lewan, I want to say, is the highest paid O-lineman in the league. So it's not that he doesn't have an O-line to protect him. It's just for some reason or another, he can't stay healthy. So it's really nice to have Ryan Tannehill as your backup, because he could be a starter somewhere else. So I think he's a really good find for the Titans, and I'm excited for that reason. I don't want to be too excited.
Yeah, I know that
stepped on, but
that is true. They had a really good line in 2016. I digress a little bit. They were hit with injuries with their guard play last year. Of course, their tight end, Delanie Walker, that was a huge hurt. Remember, he got hurt in week 1, and he was a main target. He was a possession type receiver there in tight end, helped move the chains. He was gone. You practice with someone throughout the summer, throughout the preseason, then all of a sudden you lose them, and it's really tough on a young quarterback.
Right, and like you said, the defense was good last year. I remember in that, I believe it was the divisional game against the Colts, the defense kept making plays. The Titans defense kept making plays, and then Blaine Gabbert just couldn't make a completion. It was tough to watch, but I will say the defense really stepped up. So that is one bright spot. Any other teams looming for you? What's I believe the Dolphins are the least favored to win.
Longest shot. They are the longest shot on the board at plus 6,600. Josh Rosen, your quarterback. Good luck. Good luck. Hope you have 100. Hope you have high humidity at home, because that's what you're going to need. You're going to need some help from the weather over there.
Yeah, I don't think the parity is enough in the NFL for that to happen. All right. Thanks for joining us. We will be back after the break. Once again, you're listening to Picks and Parlays. We'll see you after this.
O'Reilly. The next time you need auto parts and accessories, trust the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts. For decades, professional technicians have counted on O'Reilly Auto Parts for their knowledge and commitment to customer service, and you can too. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today. Better parts, better prices, every day.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
At 28, I had struggled with opiate and meth addiction for 12 years. I did and said things that the sober me never would have done. One day I realized I was not invincible. I was not exempt. And that's when a friend told me about elite rehab placement. They gave me the tools I needed to get sober, and all it took was the one phone call.
Elite Rehab can help you start to break your addiction problem and get sober in as little as 7 days. And we'll work with your insurance provider to help cover the costs. Plus, we have travel assistance programs to get you here by plane or train. Make this free call right now to learn more.
800-403-5912. 800-403-5912. 800-403-5912. That's 800-403-5912. It has been said that everyone has a book in them. But do you have the time or the ability to write your book? Maybe you picked up some skills or had a life experience that you want to pass on in the form of a book to help others. Maybe you want to leave an autobiography for your family. Or maybe you've built a successful business and you want to share your story. At Dorrance Publishing Company, we have professional writers who can help turn your book idea into a finished manuscript quickly and affordably. A Dorrance ghostwriter can provide as much or as little help as you need to complete your book. You'll work directly with your ghostwriter to finish your book faster than you ever could on your own. It's easy to become a published author. Call Dorrance now to learn more. 800-485-6003. 800-485-6003. 800-485-6003. Call right now. That number is 800-485-6003.
You know that maintaining your home indoors and out means working with the best brands. Lowe's helps you do it right by carrying trusted names like John Deere and Craftsman, and we help you save on them too. Now when you buy a John Deere Z-Track zero-turn mower, get a $200 Lowe's gift card via mail-in rebate. And you can get your choice of a Craftsman 20-volt max cordless string trimmer or a Craftsman 2-tool 20-volt max power tool combo kit for $99. Do it right for less. Start with Lowe's. Offers valid through 6/26 U.S. only. John Deere offer excludes California, Alaska, and Hawaii.
Welcome back to Picks and Parlays here on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network. I am your host, Chelsa Messinger, and now we are going to delve into my favorite topic, baseball. We've got some Major League Baseball picks for you today. We've got Mitch Wilson of Picks and Parlays here with us to give us some expert advice, going to win you a little money, get some value picks going. Some of the games we've been looking at, the Mets at the Phillies and the Braves at the Cubs. Those are two of the ones that I was looking at. Mitch, what are the games you've been looking at?
I've been looking at those, and I'll tell you what, as great of a game as baseball is you know, as much as we're all ready for football, and I really did enjoy that segment there with Tony. I'll tell you, I've got the baseball on just the afternoon games, and just the time that I've been watching you guys and watching baseball at the same time. We've seen a grand slam and a hit in a pitcher's ballpark in San Francisco. We've seen 2 lead changes in Boston in this White Sox-Red Sox game that, you know, Chris Sale started on the mound and, you know, 8 runs on the board for the White Sox. So it's just anything can happen. One thing that you can guarantee is you go to a baseball game, you're going to see something that you've never seen before. And it's, you know, you see it every single time, and it's just an amazing thing. And so it makes baseball not just a great sport still, and even though it's dropped, you know, in the pecking order, but also a great sport to bet on because, as we've seen over the past week, you are never out of it. And it doesn't matter who you got, you are never out of it over the course of a 9-inning baseball game.
Right.
And,
you know, see what the Dodgers do. They seem to have walk-offs every other game. So you're correct.
And I'll tell you, I've been on the wrong side. I've been on the wrong side of some of these games too. And I still, you know, as a fan, I love it. But as a bettor, don't always enjoy it as much. But, you know, what comes around goes around, as they say. And like you said, we got a great card of night games. We have day baseball. Everyone loves daytime weekday sports. Everyone loves weekday sports, you know, period. And baseball, always plenty of that. But we have those games tonight. I like that Phillies-Mets game as well. I like the Cubs. I like the Cubs-Braves game too. I like that Rays-Twins game out in Minnesota. I think it's a real interesting matchup with Morton and Odorizzi, who's having really a all-star season. You know, finally, here's a guy that, you know, to me, he's always been a thrower, a guy that just throws heat. And this year he's kind of become a pitcher where he kind of, you know, isn't just a flamethrower, you know, where he's been able to pick and work his way out of spots, which really is the difference. And, you know, we see guys like, you know, we're going to get into the Cubs in just a second, but we see guys like John Lester, who used to be a thrower, and now he's become a pitcher. He's been forced to because, you know, he's
that's why he stuck around so long.
Exactly. And it's the evolution, you know, of pitching. And it's what makes baseball just a great game, is that guys can reinvent themselves. And we see it happen all the time. And, you know, we see it happen. You know, we see games reinvent themselves. And, you know, of course, baseball reinventing itself is, you know, something that we see all the time these days now. Umpires standing around talking to each other, waiting to hear on the headphones a decision because they can sit around and talk about it all day. We know they're not going to get it right.
A lot of confidence in them, huh? All right. Well, speaking of entertainment value, the New York Mets have been very entertaining to follow the past few days. Jason Vargas, who is the starting pitcher tonight, got in some kind of altercation with a reporter, tried to charge him, had to be held back, was fined $10,000. So it'll be interesting to see if Vargas, I'm trying to say it without saying a cuss word, has a game where he says, screw you, I'm doing great, and has like a great game tonight, or, you know, if it's just more of the same and if it doesn't matter. But that's definitely something to watch for the Mets, is their implosion of their clubhouse. So
Well, I'll tell you what the Mets have also been is an implosion to their backers at the window, because if you bet on the Mets $100 every game this year, you're down 1,352 games. So I'm sure the Met backers in the sports betting world have some things to say to Jason Vargas and his teammates when it comes to it, and especially that Mets bullpen, which has just really been some of the worst garbage we've seen out there in a very, very long time.
The Mets bullpen, I believe, is the third worst in the entire major leagues, which is why it's tough to take them today, because Vargas has been 5 innings or less in 8 of his 12 starts, which means he's not going very long, so he's going to have to be relying on the bullpen. However, I will say I think Seth Lugo, their best reliever, is available today. So, I mean, that could be a bright spot, but in general, if it goes to the bullpen, not much faith in the Mets bullpen.
I have zero faith in that Mets bullpen. And I think that, I think by calling them the third worst, bullpen in baseball, I don't know exactly what the rankings are, but I'm going to guess the Nationals are in the conversation here as well.
Yeah.
When Fernando Rodney is an upgrade to your bullpen, you got some issues going on.
Right.
And, we know the Mets, when they got Familia back from suspension, and, that was supposed to be an upgrade to the bullpen.
Which suspension? He's been suspended, 3 times?
Exactly. And I tell you what, like I said, Mets backers at the window would wish he would stay suspended indefinitely, because he has been an absolute nightmare. And I think, when we look at bullpens, the ERA is never charged to them. It's charged to the starters. So,
but their ERA is not good either. It's a 5.36. So it's
hideous.
Like,
they're hideous. They're hideous.
Like statistically, they're the third worst when it comes to ERA. So even if they are charging some runs, cashing in some inherited runners, they're still not good.
The Mets have been absolute garbage, like I said, both at the window and on the field. 37-43 on the season, just 3-7 in their last 10 games. The Phillies were 1-9 in their last 10 coming into the series, but thankfully for them, they play the Mets extremely well and have taken the first 2 games in this series. Pivetta has never been much of a gem, but the thing is, the Mets actually hit left-handed pitching a lot better than they hit right-handed pitching, and the Phillies hit left-handed pitching pretty well. And, I know that, we could talk about Bryce Harper, and I was super critical when they signed him. I know that, and it's like I'll remain super critical until I see a 300-plus batting average and, Triple Crown type numbers at that price tag, or even
paying for it. Yeah,
exactly. It's like, if you want to be paid like Mike Trout, then you have to be Mike Trout. And I don't think Bryce Harper is in that conversation at this point.
Well, not yet, at least. He's got 10 years to prove it.
Mike Trout is young too. I mean, he's got 10 years he's got 10 years on the contract to prove it, but that's on our dime, because we are the ones that pay the bills. It is the fans that pay the bills, not the owners. They're just the ones that write the check, but we pay the bills, and I'd like to see a little bit more value from that. Nick Pivetta, though, he's had his share of problems. And, in this one, looking at 10.5 on the total, I kind of like the over in this one. I think this is one of those games,
like that too.
It's one of those games where I think balls are going to be flying around the ballpark. And I think that if you're going to the game, you bring a glove, you expect to be there for a long time. My wife is the type of person, she doesn't really like to go to these really long baseball games. She loved Mark Burley, was her favorite pitcher ever, because he just gets the ball and throws it right back, because you always have a quick game when Burley's pitching.
Right.
But when, you get games like this where it's going to be very, very long game, a lot of pitching changes, you got to prepare that you're going to be there for a while. Let's just say my wife's soft dough pretzel would be long gone by the 4th inning of this one. So
a lot of concession stand trips.
Yeah, it's a great day for the vendors. And it's a great day for the over players. I like the over in this game.
Yeah, I like the over as well, because the past 2 games have been scores of 13-7 and 7-5. So what did you say the over-under was, 10.5?
10.5 in this one.
Yeah, I like the over in this one as well, just because it seems like the hitters are really ramping up. The Phillies, like you said, they had that losing streak, but it seems like they have their mojo back. They got some kind of bamboo plant in the locker room, and I guess that's helped. I know, obviously, playing the Mets also helps as well. But yeah, I like the over in this one.
Yeah, I know the fantasy players have been stocking up on Phillies so far in this series. And, we talked about how bad the bullpens are, in this game. And, you have to say with those high-scoring games that we've seen, the bullpen have been used. So we don't even have fresh live arms here. We've got dead arms of a bad bullpen against guys that, these teams swing away.
Yeah, I will say, like I said, Seth Lugo is the lone bright spot, it seems like, in the Mets bullpen. And I think he is available tonight because I think he pitched in Chicago on Sunday. He threw a lot of pitches, but he should be available to go today. But I think if Vargas only goes 5, you're going to need multiple relievers. Like you said, it's going to be a long game. But yeah, it's just really it's hard to trust that Mets bullpen here. So, I mean, I would take the Phillies.
Yeah, I think on the side, I'm a little less all in on it. I just think that the Mets are going to be able to put up numbers on Pivetta too. He hasn't done much to show me that he can keep runs down. I think it's going to be one of those high-scoring affairs, though, and I think double digits is going to be no problem in this one.
Yeah, I'm more confident in the over as opposed to just a straight-up pick 'em or like picking the winner. I will say Pivetta's 4-2, so he has had some run support at least. His last 3, he had a complete game with 1 earned run, 6 2/3 with 4 earned runs, and his last start was 5 1/3, 6 earned runs against the Nationals, including 2 home runs. So, I mean, maybe he can break that streak against the Mets.
Yeah,
Pete Alonso's been hitting a lot of home runs, so
it's possible. But I would definitely go to the over. But in the other game we wanted to talk about, we head over to Wrigley Field in Chicago, and everyone knows I'm familiar with Wrigley Field, and I'm the guy that sits out in the bleachers rooting against the Cubs, and I usually only used to go when they were playing the White Sox. But this organization is tough to figure out. They seem to have a lot of talent, and they seem to be able to win in bunches. But with all the money that they spend, they're certainly not returning a lot of money to their backers at the betting window. Meanwhile, the Braves have been surging, and they've been playing extremely well. The expectations were high of the Braves coming in, and I think that this could be a postseason preview, as both teams are in first place in their division. But I don't think when we get to the postseason, is Yu Darvish going to be one of the pitchers that we see in the postseason? I definitely believe that Dallas Keuchel, making his second appearance of the season after being signed from Houston in free agency, and of course that whole having to wait till after the draft. I mean, it's just stupid. I don't understand it. I've been following his money. I understand that, but I've been following sports my entire life. My entire life, since I was like 3 years old, I used to walk around with a tape recorder interviewing my parents' friends, pretending that they were athletes. No one wanted to come to our house anymore. But I'll tell you one thing, is that I can't figure out why they have to wait until after this draft, and they can sign them then, and then don't owe anything, and they can sign them a day earlier. You have to owe something. Just make it a concrete, flat rule that everybody understands. And
I know baseball is super complicated like that. It seems like as soon as you think you know it, there's another rule that comes out of left field, and it just throws off everything. But like you said, Yu Darvish is the one guy in the rotation that some people are saying they might replace him and try to go get Madison Bumgarner to fill his spot. I don't think that'll happen, because why are you spending that much money on Yu Darvish if you're not going to use him in the postseason? It'll be interesting to see how Dallas Keuchel does in his second start back, because, I mean, he's a great pitcher, but you still got to shake the rust off. Cubs are a pretty good team. It's not like he's pitched against the Marlins. So who's your pick in this one?
Well, I have to go with Keuchel and the Braves here. I just think that they're hitting, like we saw in last night's game, is just a lot more timely. And I think that Keuchel is the better pitcher, and I think having the game under his belt, we're going to see better performance from him than we did last time out. He is a former Cy Young Award winner, so he's no slouch. We know that Darvish was great when he was with the Rangers, but it seems that since he was injured with the Rangers, he has never been the same pitcher. And I know that the Cubs are into him for, oh boy, $25 million last season, 21 this year, 22, 19, and 18.
It's a lot of money. We've got to wrap it up here. One last thing. The total has gone under for the Braves in 5 of the last 6. We'd like to thank Mitch Wilson for coming on. Thanks, Mitch, of Picks and Parlays. We are coming back after the break. Stay with us. We've got a little bit more. Stay tuned.
Not too long ago, it felt good to withdraw your cash from the bank, didn't it? For a vacation or a new car. But today, withdrawing your own cash has become risky. Pat Boone here for Swiss America. According to The Secret War, a new Swiss America white paper, I learned that all banks are now required to spy on you and me for the government, and then report any financial behavior deemed suspicious or unusual. You must read The Secret War. It's free. Truth is, I believe the government's new war against cash is really a war against us all. But the secret is now out. So please, get and read The Secret War.
Pick up your phone and call right now. 800-932-5517. 800-932-5517. 800-932-5517. Once again, that's 800-932-5517.
We paid less for our Craftmatic today than we did 20 years ago.
If you're still searching for the perfect solution to a good night's sleep, call now for prices and free information on today's Craftmatic adjustable beds. And then decide when you see how little they cost. Rated #1 by consumers nationwide on consumeraffairs.com. Craftmatic beds come in all mattress types, including cool gel memory foam for up to 50% less than today's leading memory foam brand. Enjoy temporary relief of low back pain, poor circulation, nighttime heartburn, mild arthritis. You'll sleep better in a Craftmatic adjustable bed. So if you're still searching for the perfect solution to a good night's sleep, call now for prices and information. And then decide when you see how little they cost. Discover Craftmatic for less, up to 50% less than today's leading memory foam brand.
Call 1-800-371-9608. That's 1-800-371-9608. Call 1-800-371-9608. Call now.
Being a new parent means every high and low you can imagine. But Evos can make it all easier with a baby monitor you can trust. Go to myevos.com, that's MYEVOZ.com, to see how Evos can be the eyes and ears of your nursery. Evos works with your smartphone to provide a live audio and HD video connection to your baby anytime and anywhere. On a date, at work, away on business, even serving your country overseas, Evos helps you never miss a moment. Whether your baby is with a sitter, your partner, a grandparent, or a friend, you'll be right there too. And with unique features like smart alerts that know the difference between a barking dog and your baby crying, extensive sleep tracking data, and state-of-the-art security features for your peace of mind, Evos is the smart baby monitor for connected parents. And enter the code SPORTS at checkout for $20 off. That's myevos.com. MYEVOZ.com.
All right, we are back on Picks and Parlays here on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network. I'm your host, Chelsa Messinger. If you haven't been paying attention that well, we're going to recap some of our picks, a little Wikipedia Cliff Notes edition. First up, we covered the Women's World Cup quarterfinal. Nick Gieber gave us some expert picks. He has England, he has the U.S., he has Holland, Germany, but also, if you want some value, his long shot pick to win in the quarterfinal is Sweden at plus 420. Moving on, we talked a little NFL because I was dying to get to it. We were talking about the AFC. And our picks, Tony Tellis said we had the Steelers at plus 1,200. That was his pick. And then his value pick was the Titans. Titans at plus 2,800 for his value pick to win it all. I still think there's some value in the Colts, but those are the two that we're going with. We talked a little baseball as well. Mets, Phillies. We had the Phillies winning. And we had the over hitting. I believe the line was 10.5. And we also talked a little Braves Cubs. We've got the Braves winning that one. And as always, we thank you for joining us. Here you can see us each and every weekday here on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network, Picks and Parlays. Thanks for joining us. And always, we want to hear from you. Talk to us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Facebook is Picks Parlays, Twitter, Picks Parlays, and www.picksandparlays.net for some good picks. If you want to win some money, if you want a little extra spending money this summer, we've got you covered. And here is my personal Twitter, because I know you guys want to follow me as well. It's at Chelsa Messinger, ChelsaMessinger. That's my spelling bee for the day. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow at the same time. Thanks for joining us.